Hello everyone, a different video here today, and it's actually going to be a battle. We actually have a gaming group and we play a lot of Pokemon games. And this guy here who I'm battling right now, Neil, he's one of my rivals, I would say. We don't really have a lot of experience this generation because yeah, I haven't played ranked. Last generation I would have made it to Masters tier several times. But yeah, let's see how we fare on this battle. My thought process right now is to actually get up my dual screens first and pretty much, get a Glamora out, whittle his team down a bit just for Dragonite to clean up. My biggest fear on this team right now is this Titan. I'm not 100% sure if it's a Slush Rush, Scarf, or Bandit. Quavel is also a threat. I'm not really too worried about Electros and Mousehole, unless the Mousehole is actually going to be, terrestrializing Ghost type, preventing my Dragonite from sweeping. So the battle begins, and again, let's see what he's going to bring out. He starts off with his Toedscruel, and of course I send out Manscape. So the first thing I want to do is get my light screen on, especially since this thing is a special attacker. The first thing he does is set off a Spore. It's not a good thing. I actually don't want to stay in on this because he's going to set up all over my team. So I'm sending out Glamora. Yes, it's not Focus Sash because I actually use this thing to chip away at a lot of opponents. So yeah, this is a brand new team, and I think Glamora is going to do pretty well in this game. So he sets up his spikes. That was expected. The first thing I want to do is get off my rocks. And I know exactly what's coming. Use Earth Power. Thankfully I survived with 2 HP, so I can actually set up my toxic spikes with the Mortal Spin. So I actually use this thing as a bit of a suicide lead and, a special attacker, just a chip away. And he sets this thing to sleep as well. So now I have 2 Pokemon asleep, but that's fine. I'm still not staying in on this thing. I'm actually going to double back out at this point because he's actually getting chipped away by the poison damage. So I bring Glamora back and I send Manscape out. I can actually tank some hits because I have light screen up. And he sets up another layer of spikes. Especially since the Mortal Spin knocked the first set away. So what I want to do is get a Reflective now. It's actually doing my dual screens up. It's going to help me a lot, especially versus the Titan. He lets off another Earth Power. Does no damage. And he's getting weeded down again with the poison. So he brings his Toedscruel back and he sends out his Glamora. We know that shenanigans that's about to happen right now. He's gonna set up more hazards, and I'm actually pretty worried about that. And keep in mind, this thing has Black Sludge. It doesn't have a Focus Sash, and that's actually good for me because I actually have Magnezone in the back, and Dragonite will be happily ready to take this thing out. Use Parting Shot, weaken this offensive stats, and I switch back out. I'm thinking Dragonite here at this point, but you never know. You may want to use Power Gem or something. So I actually send in the Dondozo. My apologies for the lag here at this point, but he actually gets off his Stealth Rocks. He's very much worried about my Dragonite in the back, but I'm actually heavy duty boots. Light screen wears off, and yeah, the game lags a bit here. So again, my apologies. I actually want to put this thing to sleep, but he protects. He's back up to full health now, and yeah, I'm still gonna try and put this thing to sleep because, Glamora is very, very threatening. Unfortunately, he gets a critical hit on me, and it really ruined. Actually, it's gonna make my Dondozo pretty useless in this match. Minus that Yawn, as you can see much later in the game, it's actually going to be of great benefit to me. At this point, he's thinking pretty hard. I'm not even sure if I want to stay in on this thing. So I'm gonna recall my Pokemon and send on my own Glamora. use it as fodder at this point. And, you know, that extra turn is actually going to put his Pokemon to sleep. So while this thing is asleep, I feel much safer now. I'm not 100% sure if I want to, you know, let Zahiro come out right now and set up the sweep. But the safest play is actually to let out my Magnezone. I'm so tempted, but it's still too early in the game. I'm not 100% sure what his entire team is going to do, or what exactly, you know, they're capable of. So I just want to use the Flash Cannon. It's actually going to be a safest player, especially since he has a Titan in the back. There's not a lot of Pokemon he has that can actually take a hit from this thing. No matter what my Magnezone is, more than likely going to two-hit everything on his team, if not one shot. Again, I'm thinking about making that Zahiro play. So he decides to, you know, bring back his Glamora, and he sends out the Titan. So which is great for me. It gets the rocks damage, and this is the timid Magnezone, and the Flash Cannon actually does a good bit of damage. My Magnezone is actually timid nature, not modest, so I can actually outspeed this thing. But again, I do not know if this thing is Choice Scarf and, you know, carrying the Earthquake. So I'm a bit worried here, and I expect the Earthquake to come out. But so I actually send out my Zahiro at this point, my favorite Pokemon, by the way. And of course, he actually predicted that, went for the Ice Spinner. So me, that's actually good play on your part. I respect that. At this point, I have to stay in. So he actually terrestrializes here. And now that I know that he's not Scarf, it's safe for me to actually extreme speed and get rid of this thing. But I think he was actually trying to expect something like maybe Outrage or Dragon Claw at this point and finish me off with the Play Rough. So yeah, I made the safe play. My Reflect wears off. So I'm not sure what he's going to bring out at this point. Oh, and Harry, okay, he sends out the Moso, and I think he's actually trying to outspeed me, and I can only do so much damage here at this point. What I'm expecting is the Population Bomb. So I actually don't want to stay in on this thing. So yeah, I really don't want to stay in on this thing because he can probably murk me at this point. And at this point, I already forgot if my Reflect is even up. So yeah, that's something I have to pay attention to, especially having battled in a long time. So yeah, I actually send Manscape back out. It's the safest play. Of course, he goes for the Population Bomb. He hits me 4 times. Luckily, he hit it the 5th time, and I'm good enough to get my Reflect up. Excuse the lag here. So he finishes Manscaped off with the Play Rough. So at this point here, I think it's time to send out Zero. Probably the safest play. He can't hit me with a Super Fang. Bullet Seed is weak. I know these things carry Shadow Claw. And what I actually forgot was that this Cerulege is not Jolly. This is actually my Adamant Cerulege. But yeah, as you can see, he switches out. I think he expected the close combat, which is good on his part. But he sends out Cookwaver, and thankfully I get rocks damage off this, and also close combat. And again, I actually forgot. Again, this thing is Adamant nature, and I expected, you know, a speed tag, or maybe him to actually set up on me. But we'll see what he does in a second. So he actually goes for the Aqua Step, and I mean, even though I lost the Cerulege, it's fine. I actually didn't want him to set up, you know, a Swords Dance or something like that. But yeah, he gets the Moxie boost. So I send Zahiro back in, and I think it's safe enough right now to clean up. So yeah, it's time to terrestrialize and get this game going. Normal EQ Dragonite. is a monster in this generation. Dragonite is the biggest offender to our civilization. So E-Speed easily takes that out. So let's see what he decides to bring in, because Zahiro actually cleans up the majority of his team. And my OBS is lagging me video. So yeah, he actually brings out his Toadschool. You have the rocks damage and the poison going. There's no way this thing is going to survive at extreme speed. I also have Fire Punch in the back, but I don't think that's going to be able to take this thing out. So again, extreme speed. Take this thing out. It would have been very, very damning if this guy actually got a spar off of my Dragonite. Easily would have lost this game. He sends out Electros. I do not know what this thing is going to do. Or maybe, you know, I was thinking maybe Thunder Wave or something, but I know Earthquake is useless against this. It's actually one of my favorite Pokemon, believe it or not. My only play here right now is actually go for the Dragon Dance or another extreme speed. But I actually decided to risk the Dragon Dance, especially since Reflect is up. He actually carries the Drain Punch. It's very interesting to see. So let's see how much damage extreme speed does to this thing. I actually expected it to get one-shotted, but yeah, as you will see in a second, he survives with just a slither of health. So I know he's going to keep this thing in. It's very low at this point. At this point, it's also useless to his team. You did well, Zahiro. And yeah, I'm definitely not going to send out Dondozo. Magnezone is going to easily tank this thing. And thankfully that Reflect is still up. So I take double hazards damage. I don't have a lot of things to actually hit this, but I'm thinking Terra Blast. This is actually a flying Magnezone, and he did not know at this point that I was actually faster than him. Electros has very low speed. Magnezone at max speed, which mine is at Timid, it's about 240. So yeah, I'm actually able to clean him up with Terra Blast. Excuse the lag there, guys. So at this point, I know he has Glimmora in the back and the Mousehold. So again, more chip damage. What I want to do is paralyze this thing because, yeah, he's a bit of a monster. At this point, with 2 Pokemon left, and you know he's also down to his last 2. I'm pretty sure his heart was racing as fast as mine. So he actually uses the tidy up, you know, to make just to ensure that his other Pokemon, the Glimmora, you know, can potentially make a comeback. But he still has the Black Sludge attached to it. So I get the discharge. I never got the paralysis off. And he uses Bullet Seed. And I'm actually able to tank this pretty well. And yeah, at this point here, it's getting pretty scary. You know, I thought I was going to lose the first match. This is actually my first match inside the tournament. But I'm actually able to finish this thing off. And his last Pokemon is Glimmora. And keep in mind, guys, even though Dondozo was pretty useless this game, me getting that yawn off was pretty crucial, because his Glimmora is in fact still asleep. And remember, it also does not have the Focus Sash. So Magnezone is in the clear right now to finish up this game. I know even if the Glimmora wakes up, he can still potentially take this thing out and, you know, defeat my Dondozo, because my Dondozo got hit with a crit earlier by this thing. So let's see if we can actually one-shot it with the Flash Cannon and secure the victory. Thankfully, he's still asleep. And let's see if it finishes the game. Okay, looks like a win. So it's actually our first win. So I'm actually happy about this. Good game, Neil. Really enjoyed the match. So we actually move on to the second round, and you guys see that video much later. Thanks for watching.